Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes has revealed the deeply personal story behind how the iconic medical drama first began. Speaking on the March 10 episode of Serena and Venus Williams' Stockton Street podcast, Rhimes shared that the show was inspired by a mix of grief, motherhood, and frustration with television at the time. Rhimes explained that the idea came shortly after the September 11 attacks, when she began reflecting on life and the things she might regret not doing. Realizing that becoming a mother was her biggest wish, she adopted her first daughter, Harper, just 9 months after the tragedy. Staying home with a newborn gave Rhimes more time to watch TV, but she quickly realized that nothing on television truly captured her interest. That moment of frustration led to a creative breakthrough. Rhimes decided to write the kind of show she wanted to watch herself, even though she had never written for television before. The result was Grey's Anatomy, which premiered in 2005 and has since become the longest-running medical drama in TV history, earning 38 Emmy nominations and now entering its 22nd season. Rhimes admitted she never imagined the show would last this long. She revealed that at one point around episode 150 she thought she knew how the series would end, but with more than 450 episodes now aired, she says she no longer has a clear plan for the finale. Meanwhile, fans are also mourning the loss of beloved Grey's Anatomy star Eric Dane. The actor, known for playing Dr. Mark Sloan, passed away at 53 from respiratory failure caused by ALS. His family shared that he spent his final days surrounded by loved ones after bravely battling the disease. Despite the tragedy, Grey's Anatomy continues to captivate audiences with dramatic new storylines in season 22. Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes reveals inspiration behind series. Shonda Rhimes talks about real-life influence behind Grey's Anatomy. Shonda Rhimes has revealed that Grey's Anatomy, now the longest-running medical drama in television history, was born out of a combination of grief, new motherhood, and a simple dissatisfaction with what was on TV at the time. Speaking on the March 10 episode of Serena and Venus Williams' Stockton Street podcast, the 56-year-old television powerhouse traced the show's origins back to the aftermath of the September 11 attacks. 9/11 had happened, she explained. And I said to myself, if my life ended tomorrow, what will I regret having not done? And the answer was be a mom. 9 months and 2 days after the attacks, Rhimes adopted her eldest daughter Harper, now 23. I adopted a daughter and it was amazing, she said. But it also meant that I never left the house again. You know, you have a baby, you don't want to go anywhere. You want to be at home. Housebound and watching television for the first time in earnest, Rhimes found herself uninspired by what was available. I don't see anything on TV that I really want to watch, she recalled thinking. And so Grey's was literally a show that I wrote because I wanted to watch that show. The remarkable part? She had never written television before. I learned how to write TV by writing that show, she said. Now in its 22nd season with 38 Emmy nominations to its name, the show has been on air since 2005, a run that even its creator finds difficult to believe. There's a lot of things I tried. There's a lot of things I didn't know if it would work. And what was great was the thing in my head was the thing that audiences really wanted to see. As for how it will all end, Rhimes is refreshingly candid about having no clear plan. Speaking on the Today Show in October, she noted, I'd say back around episode 150 I knew how it was gonna end. Now we're at 450, I have no idea. I mean, I wasn't sure we'd get past season 4 or 5. So the fact that we're here in season 22 is insane. Rhimes is also mom to daughters Emerson, 12, and Beckett, 11, and served as Grey's showrunner until season 8. Grey's Anatomy star Eric Dane's cause of death revealed Eric Dane died of respiratory failure. The Grey's Anatomy star's death certificate, which has been seen by people, confirms that he died from respiratory failure, with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, listed as an underlying cause. Dane, who was 53 when he died on February 19, revealed his ALS diagnosis nearly a year before his death. Dane's family were the first to announce his death, revealing that he was surrounded by loved ones in the days before he died. With heavy hearts, we share that Eric Dane passed on Thursday afternoon following a courageous battle with ALS, it said in a statement. He spent his final days surrounded by dear friends, his devoted wife, and his two beautiful daughters, Billy and Georgia, who were the center of his world. Throughout his journey with ALS, Eric became a passionate advocate for awareness and research, determined to make a difference for others facing the same fight, the statement said. He will be deeply missed, and lovingly remembered always. Eric adored his fans and is forever grateful for the outpouring of love and support he's received. The family has asked for privacy as they navigate this impossible time. Dane revealed news of his diagnosis in April 2025. I have been diagnosed with ALS. I am grateful to have my loving family by my side as we navigate this next chapter, he told People. I feel fortunate that I am able to continue working and am looking forward to returning to set of Euphoria next week. I kindly ask that you give my family and I privacy during this time. However, Dane subsequently decided to share his health journey with fans. It's imperative that I share my journey with as many people as I can because I don't feel like my life is about me anymore, he said. Your official Grey's Anatomy recap, Season 22, Episode 12. While it's nice of this week's episode of Grey's Anatomy to give us an easy, breezy storyline about Link and Jo arguing over Link's secret man cave on their first outing away from their 4 children, don't worry about those 2. They are solid. Most of Get Lucky is about the growing chaos at Grey Sloan Memorial. There is some real angry tension building everywhere you turn. Teddy and Winston. Teddy and Owen. Bailey and Lucas. Mohunty and Jules. Neither the hospital nor my brain was built to withstand this kind of mounting pressure. Exciting, right? Let's talk about it. Do or die. Teddy, Teddy, Teddy. Look what you've gotten yourself into, girl. And in this episode, I mean that both professionally and personally. At the top of the hour, we learn that Korban is only getting worse. Last week, Teddy sold Korban on sticking with the less risky treatment plan to treat his infected graft instead of going for broke with the famed ventral aorta surgery she and Winston performed on Nora Young. Teddy was scared to try it a second time, but now there is literally no other option. But before she can attempt the surgery a second time, she has to get 2 people who might not exactly be on board with performing this surgery now to consent, Korban's sister Letitia and Winston Dugu. Teddy goes to Winston first. She is surprisingly mean and angry for someone who not only needs help but was also in the wrong. Winston wanted to do this surgery yesterday before Korban got worse. By now, Korban has deteriorated so much that it makes this risky surgery even riskier. When he points out that she wasted his best shot out of fear, she bites his head off with lines like I made the best choice with the information I had. And do you want me to say I was wrong? And honestly, yes, Teddy, I do. Her proclamation to either help me come up with a plan to save him, or stop wasting my time, is rich coming from this woman. Thankfully, Winston has thick skin and is a professional, of course, he wants to help Korban. Getting Letitia on board happens at a much lower decibel. She's confused on the treatment plan whiplash here but can see this is his only option. Yes, he could die during this surgery, but without it, he will definitely die. As Simone points out, this is his only chance of survival, and these 2 surgeons are literally the only 2 people who can perform the surgery. Letitia gives consent but begs Teddy not to make her regret it. They have to watch her tearfully say goodbye to her unconscious brother, a speech that includes the fact that she's naming her unborn son after him. It is gutting, as if the stakes weren't already high enough here. I guess Winston can take solace in the fact that he's not the only person Teddy's directing her ire at today. When Owen finds her running through the surgery in a supply closet and offers her some words of encouragement, she responds by yelling at him about how infuriating he is and has always been. Thankfully, for Korban's sake, Teddy and Winston do make amends while scrubbing in. He once again points out that her ego is what got her into trouble here and that he would really like to be sure that they are in a partnership, that in that or, she is going to listen to what he has to say instead of just dismissing him. She promises. And so, he gives her his full support. Despite how complicated and intense this surgery is, it mostly goes well. I mean, the staples on the new aorta not staying in place at first and Korban's blood spraying all over Teddy isn't, like, great, but other than those things, Teddy and Winston, assisted by Simone and Quan, really work as a cohesive unit. When they place staples the second time, they hold. They have successfully completed the surgery a second time. Do we have a new cardio dream team at Grey Sloan on our hands? The specter of Christina Yang hangs over this episode in more ways than this display of incredible cardiothoracic medicine. Teddy goes home to relieve Owen, who was with the kids, and she apologizes for snapping at him and thanks him for always believing in her no matter what. She thanks him again by sticking her tongue down his throat. The ink hasn't even dried on those divorce papers, and they are hopping back into bed together. When Owen continued to have sex with Christina after their divorce, it did not end well, it was just a mess. Will post-divorce backsliding work out for the guy this time around? I'm sure we'll find out. Who said surgery is a team sport? Cardio might have gotten a big win today, but the same cannot be said for plastics. Mohunty is still nervous about getting a good recommendation from Dr. Wright so she can score that plastics fellowship under Jackson Avery in Boston. Her family lives there, Jackson is as good as it gets in plastics, this is her dream. She's working with Wright today, so she has a lot riding on it. You'd think the fact that her boyfriend's friend Jules is on her service would be comforting, or even kind of fun, but Mohunty simply tells her to be on her A-game today. It's not a hard request to fulfill for Jules. She knows their patient Mr. Hill, he is in for a reconstruction surgery after complications with the CABG. He recently had left a large open wound in his chest. Jules was the resident on the CABG, and she gets along swimmingly with Mr. Hill and his wife. It immediately pisses Mohunty off. The tension only grows when Wright asks Jules and Mohunty for ideas on how to go about this surgery, and Jules offers up an out-of-the-box idea that Wright winds up choosing over Mohunty's suggestion. After Wright leaves, Mohunty snaps at Jules to know her place. Jules is blindsided. Mohunty doesn't warm up to Jules during the surgery either. Bailey and Ben are called in to perform the initial surgery on the omentum that will be used as the flap to cover the wound, and Bailey uses it as an opportunity to talk up Ben, who is still attempting to get on Wright's good side. Wright sees through the incessant glazing, but it still works. When she gets called to an emergency burn case, she takes Ben with her and leaves Mohunty and Jules to finish up the omentum flap. Mohunty refuses to let Jules assist in any way. When Jules asks if she should just get another resident to replace her, Mohunty goes off on her. Jules made her look like a fool in front of Wright. Jules swears it wasn't her intention. She told her to be on her A-game, so she was. If she wanted Jules to make her look good in front of Wright, she should have said exactly that. She's on Mohunty's side. That sentiment is put to the test when Jules goes to check on Mr. Hill, only to discover that the omentum flap isn't getting any blood flow, and it's dying. They rush him back to the OR, and Wright is livid. She discovers that whoever stitched the flap stitched it right over where the blood supply would come from. This was negligence by a surgeon, and it means Mr. Hill will need to have multiple surgeries, and at his age and in his condition, that's risky. We know, of course, it was Mohunty who made the error, but she doesn't fess up to it, and Jules, keeping her word, doesn't out her. Wright kicks them both out of the OR. Mohunty assures Jules that everything will be fine, even when the likely M&M presentation comes around. She almost seems a little too casual about the enormous favor Jules just did for her. Hey, at least Dr. Wright's day isn't a total disaster. Amelia gets weird when Wright asks her out on a proper date following their traditional Grey Sloan on-call room hookup. Amelia doesn't want Wright to know she has a son since that proved detrimental in her previous relationship. But as is the way on Grey's Anatomy, Amelia winds up with a patient who changes her perspective. When she meets Jeremy, who has a head contusion, she watches as he grows more infuriated with his brother, who repeatedly teases and humiliates him. Jeremy refuses, and apparently has always refused, to confront his brother. When he finally does, his brother is apologetic. He had no idea this bothered him. Why didn't he just tell him earlier? It reminds Amelia that it's best to just say how you feel, people may surprise you. And that's exactly what happens with Dr. Wright when she comes clean about Scout. Because guess what? Wright has a son too. It seems like all things are a go for this budding relationship. Well, this felt inevitable. Bailey doesn't regret being so stern with Lucas about being overly involved in Katie Rogers' case. She stands by her decision to ream him out so he'll focus on his actual patients. Let's be real, she isn't just looking out for the patients, but is also trying to save Lucas from himself. She has seen this too many times in the past 22 seasons, and we all know it. But just because that was the right call, it doesn't mean she can easily shake the feeling that she is failing Katie. Could she be doing more? Ben does his best to get Bailey in and working with patients she can actually help at the moment. It is a nice reprieve, but she is still infuriated by the Katie situation. Lucas, for his part, does take Bailey's admonishment to heart. He sees Katie texting him repeatedly, but he ignores it. He wants to show Bailey that he is listening. When he notices Bryant getting overly emotional in regard to Jeremy and his brother, Bryant wants to tell that guy off so badly, Lucas kicks him out of the room. It's not our job to get involved, he tells an annoyed Bryant. What a turnaround in just one day for our guy Lucas, huh? Don't worry about Bryant, he is working through some brother issues of his own that this clearly triggered. He tells Simone he's leaving for a bit because his brother's epilepsy got much worse. Bailey and Lucas both seem to be muddling through the day until the thing we knew was going to eventually happen occurs. An ambulance pulls up with Katie inside. She can't breathe. She has fluid pushing up on her lungs. She had been trying to text Lucas about it as it got worse throughout the day, but he never responded. He is pissed at Bailey. Katie trusted him, and because he was following Bailey's orders, she was alone and scared all day. Bailey promptly kicks him off Katie's care team. Something tells me it won't be that easy to keep Lucas away as Katie's health deteriorates. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.